Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a thrilling and intense story about a mysterious virus outbreak that turns ordinary people into dangerous, superpowered infected. What starts with a single experiment quickly spirals out of control, engulfing an entire city in chaos. Stay tuned as we uncover the terrifying events that unfold in this gripping tale of survival, betrayal, and desperation. Let's get right into it. The movie MADS opens with Roman, a young man, who visits a drug dealer to get some drugs for his birthday party. After obtaining the drugs, Roman gets into his father's luxury car. While driving, he lights a cigarette but quickly discards it out of the window, realizing the mistake he's made. He stops the car to properly throw it away, but just then, a girl suddenly runs towards the car and bumps into it. She appears frightened and has bandages on her head, looking as if she has escaped from a lab or hospital. Roman asks her what happened, but she is too scared to speak and only cries. Concerned, Roman tries calling emergency services, but when the girl panics at the mention of the police, he decides to take her somewhere safe himself. However, the girl remains silent, unable to tell him where to go. As Roman drives, he tries to communicate with her, but she remains unresponsive. After some time, the girl pulls out a recorder from which voices explain that she was part of an experiment named C-39 and that she had escaped. The girl tries to tell Roman that they are talking about her. Confused and alarmed, Roman struggles to understand the situation. Suddenly, the girl starts behaving erratically, making strange gestures, banging her head inside the car, and wielding a knife. Roman tries to restrain her, but she falls onto him, smearing him with her blood before collapsing and dying on the seat. Roman is left in shock, unable to comprehend what just happened on his birthday. He attempts to wake her, but it's futile. Panicking, he manages to hide the car in his garage to avoid unwanted attention. He checks the girl again, but she remains lifeless. His anxiety intensifies. He's covered in blood. There's a dead body in his car, and he was supposed to be at a party. Trying to regain control of the situation, Roman heads to take a shower. Roman scolds himself, thinking that if he hadn't stopped the car, none of this would have happened. Just then, he receives a call from his father, who asks if the car is all right. This reveals how much his father cherishes the car, explaining why he was so upset when Roman threw the cigarette inside it. Roman lies, assuring him that everything is fine, and ends the call. He goes back to check the car, but is shocked to find the girl missing. This means she wasn't dead after all, just unconscious from her injuries. The fact that she survived such severe wounds and even had the strength to escape surprises him deeply. This mystery pushes Roman to start searching for her, but she is nowhere to be found. At that moment, someone arrives at the door. When Roman checks, it is his friend, Aina. Since it's Roman's birthday, Aina wanted to spend time with him to make the day special. However, Roman is still anxious and distracted, and despite Aina's efforts to stay, he resumes searching for the girl. Aina steps outside to smoke, and Roman, worried she might be upset, calls her back inside. Aina tells him she came to pick him up for the party, but feels that Roman is acting strange and distant. Roman tries to calm her down and prepares to send her off, just as his other friends arrive to pick him up. He declines their invitation, saying he's feeling unwell and will join later. Inside, Roman reviews the CCTV footage to find any trace of the girl, but finds nothing. Frustrated, he goes outside to leave with his friends. Even on the way, Roman behaves oddly, clearly disturbed by the events. At the party, his mind is still fixated on the girl, and Aina notices his strange behavior. She's confused about what's really going on. Some of Roman's friends ask him what's wrong, but without answering, Roman retreats to a room. Meanwhile, Aina goes to the bathroom with a friend. After she leaves, Roman approaches Aina's friend, revealing that he was deceiving Aina. The friend notices Roman's eyes glowing unnaturally, which terrifies her. She informs Roman about this, and he nervously checks his reflection in a mirror. Suddenly, he starts shaking his head uncontrollably, almost like he's losing his mind. Just then, Roman's father calls again, telling him that the house alarm had gone off recently. He also mentions seeing someone moving in the camera footage and says he is on his way home. Roman's father tells him to quickly check the house because something seems wrong. As Roman prepares to leave, we notice his eyes glowing intensely, a clear sign that something is seriously wrong with him. When Roman steps outside, one of his friends forcefully insists that he join the party and dance. This enrages Roman so much that he brutally attacks his own friend. Aina's friend intervenes to stop the fight, but Roman strikes her as well. After this violent outburst, Roman grabs a bicycle and heads home. Once home, he turns off the alarm. His father calls again, asking if a thief had broken in or if anything was stolen. Roman denies it, but his father laughs strangely, suggesting that something odd has happened to him as well. Roman ends the call and goes inside the house. There he finds the same recorder the girl had, and it is still playing a recording. As he moves through the house, Roman notices bloodstains everywhere. Following them, he reaches the rooftop, where the girl is sitting, stabbing herself repeatedly with a knife. Roman quickly wrests the knife away from her, causing her to calm down. Suddenly, the girl pulls out a strange device from inside her body, and Roman is stunned, unable to comprehend what he's seeing. Shocked, he tries to flee, but then he spots commandos outside the window, the same ones who had experimented on the girl. They have been searching for her and have now arrived at the house. They move to take her away, but sense that someone else is still inside. Roman, overwhelmed, starts behaving erratically, laughing maniacally, cutting himself, licking the floor, and walking backward. The commandos decide to take him with them as well. Meanwhile, Aina calls Roman and tries to talk to him, but someone else answers. The commandos disguised as Roman. Aina doesn't realize this and continues speaking to them. She asks about the boy Roman had attacked, saying that his neck must be broken from the force. The commandos ask her where she is, and she tells them, then tries to leave by taxi. However, Aina starts showing strange behavior. She begins shaking her neck unnaturally, just like Roman did when he was first affected. It becomes clear her condition is worsening. Suddenly, Aina receives a call from her friend, who confesses that she's also feeling unwell. Before the call ends, she cries and hangs up. Aina then senses someone is following them. It's none other than the commandos. The taxi driver stops and asks them. The taxi driver suddenly turns on them, asking, "Why are you following us?" Before anyone can react, the commandos kill the driver. Seeing this, Aina panics and takes control of the taxi herself. She drives for a while, but then abruptly stops the vehicle and starts walking strangely on the road, even though the commandos are still pursuing her. As Aina tries to escape, the commandos open fire repeatedly, but she keeps running. Eventually, she reaches a lab and pleads for help, asking people to call the police. She then rushes into the bathroom, where she looks at herself in the mirror. First, she sees her normal reflection, but then her form distorts, and she begins to cry. At that moment, Aina's friend calls her, urging her to meet at the station where she has a bike to help them escape. But the commandos arrive at the lab too. They start shooting everyone in sight. Witnessing the chaos, Aina jumps out of a window and heads toward the spot her friend mentioned. However, her eyes start glowing again, and she begins behaving wildly. On the way, she attacks a girl, smearing her own blood on her victim. Then she steals a boy's bicycle and rides off. The boy tries to stop her, but she strikes him down and throws him into a nearby pond. Before fleeing, she mutters, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I don't know what's happening to me that's forcing me to act this way." Sirens wail across the city, signaling that many others are going through similarly strange and terrifying experiences. Aina finally reaches her friend's place. Her friend quickly helps her onto a bike, but Aina bizarrely starts smearing blood on her as well. Alarmed, her friend pushes her off the bike and steps back, horrified to see Aina behaving like a wild animal. The friend then flees. At that moment, her mother calls, saying something very strange is happening in the city, and her wheelchair is stuck somewhere. Hearing this, Aina rushes off to save her mother, but the commandos continue to chase her relentlessly. She runs at an incredible speed, as if propelled by a motorcycle. Meanwhile, her friend reaches her building and takes the elevator up to her apartment. Suddenly, the elevator halts and panic sets in. From outside, she hears Aina's voice, wild and terrifying, as she brutally attacks people in the building. Their screams echo through the hallways. Among the chaos, a commando's voice comes over the intercom, explaining, "A virus has spread throughout the city. If you haven't been infected, if you haven't fallen under its influence, we can save you." Just then, the elevator resumes moving and her friend reaches her floor. Her friend reaches her home only to find a horrifying scene. Aina is devouring her mother, and the entire head has been gruesomely torn off. Terrified, her friend tries to flee, but a commando wearing a mask suddenly blocks her path. The commando grabs her and closely examines her eyes, checking if she is infected. Thankfully, she isn't affected yet. Then the commando removes her mask, revealing that she is a woman. She tells the friend to stay put and goes after Aina, intending to kill her. But Aina attacks the commando fiercely. Though the commando manages to kill Aina, she too becomes infected because Aina's blood had splattered onto her legs. The commando warns Aina's friend that she might still survive if she avoids direct contact with infected people. However, she suspects the friend was near Roman and got some of his blood on her, meaning she too will likely become infected. The friend keeps this to herself, confused about what is really happening. The commando advises her to stay in the darkest places because the infected are irresistibly drawn to light. She hands her a gun and tells her to run away quickly, warning that she might become infected soon and turn against her. Then turning away, the commando shoots herself. This reveals why the commandos had been killing everyone who had contact with infected blood. They wanted to stop the virus from spreading, but it's already too late. Almost immediately, Aina's friend begins to show signs of infection. Her behavior changes drastically. She laughs maniacally, like a mad woman. In the chaos, we learn the truth. The first girl, the experimental subject, C39, is the cause of the virus spreading through the entire city. She initially infected Roman by spilling her blood on him. Through Roman and his contacts, the virus spread further, engulfing the whole city. The commandos were conducting this experiment under government orders to create super fast, super powerful soldiers. The subject was engineered so that her blood could turn others into enhanced beings like her. But this experiment backfired horrifically. Instead of controlled super soldiers, the infected became dangerous predators who bite and consume others, making the virus almost impossible to cure. And that's the shocking story of how one experiment unleashed a devastating virus that changed everything. The battle between survival and infection has only just begun, and the city may never be the same again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thrilling recaps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and stay safe.